Senator Durbin.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. And I'm puzzled and hope we can clarify one or 2 points here. Mr. Karofsky, I think you have made it clear that you believe your institution has made a good faith effort to disclose information and to bring justice to this issue. The settlement agreement, the last payment was made 7 or 8 years ago, and it was $1.3 billion in total. As I understand your testimony, your bank, financial institution, did not produce the distribution table for this. It was done by others. And it still, at this point, puzzles me that there is a difference of opinion as to whether you've made full disclosure of relevant materials and facts. You have said in your testimony that your institution has disclosed 16.5 million documents provided to the ombudsperson, and that there is a dispute over 150 documents remaining. I don't know if that's what Mr. Borowski was referring to when he talked about full disclosure, but would you please clarify why you have not produced the disputed 150 documents?
Maybe I respond to this question, Senator, since it's a specific legal question. These are privileged documents, but I wanted to explain. So first, as Rob said, we really want to provide these documents, and we are actively looking into all possible options to provide these documents at the same time protecting, of course, the specific privilege that those documents are. This is a small set of documents. We are talking about less than 300 documents versus the 16.5 million documents that have been produced so far. And the reason that these documents, on this specific set of documents, we have claimed privilege is that these documents refer to the 1999 Holocaust litigation, which is the specific subject matter that we are threatened of litigation by the Salmon Visual Center and others. So we want to clarify, and that's also the reason for the request of an order from Judge Corman, so that we can provide those documents to Mr. Borowski so that he has full access to everything.
So let me ask either Rabbi Cooper or Mr. Borowski, why do you believe these documents, identified as 150, at least in the statement by Mr. Karofsky, are so critically important that this matter still is in litigation?
Well, obviously, Neil Borowski will have the answer, but just let me add the following. It's not about the number of documents. It's about really our last chance to learn the full truth. And to make this kind of intervention sort of at the ninth inning leads one to wonder why such steps would be taken. I'm not a lawyer, I'm only a rabbi. So, that's my burden.
In the hierarchy of things, you don't need to apologize.
Thank you, Senator. I'll sleep better tonight. I appreciate that. But I think it's important for why we're really here today. We're here using the continued efforts and power, bipartisanship of the United States Senate to finally get to the bottom of the truth. You've got a phenomenal team in Neil Borowski and his team. I hope, as a result of this hearing, he can actually get access to the full picture and come back and give his report.
Mr. Borowski, would you like to add anything?
Sure. I just want to be clear. I have zero interest in litigation documents, communications between lawyers and their clients. That's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about are documents that are relevant to the question of whether a Nazi had an account or didn't have an account at Credit Suisse. That's all I'm concerned about. And while 150 doesn't sound like a lot, you have to understand these are not just 1 or 2 page documents. These could be documents that are binders, 500 to 1,000 pages each. And when it comes down to what our investigation is, we're looking for needles in one of the most enormous haystacks you can imagine. Picture the final scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's what the Credit Suisse archives are. If you line documents from here, you almost get it back to my home in New York City. This is a massive amount of documents. And the number of relevant documents to date of our entire investigation isn't 16 million. That's the total amount provided. You're talking about tens of thousands of documents, max, that are actually relevant. And so all I'm concerned about are those documents that hit on our search terms, documents that relate to specific Nazi and Nazi enablers, even if it's a small number.
May I ask you a question? How long has these documents been in dispute?
Since about November of last year. And I will say up until that point, UBS's cooperation has been picture perfect.
Well, Mr. Karofsky, I think your testimony, written and oral, is an effort by your institution to be helpful and come clean. It appears that in this situation, for several months, you've been at loggerheads in dispute over these documents. Is there any chance we can resolve this in the near term?
Thank you, Ranking Member. We are trying, and I appreciate Mr. Borofsky's comments about our cooperation. As stated, we have provided 16.5 million documents, 44 million pages, 4 terabytes of data. We've provided access to 18 archives across 7 countries. We would like to resolve this issue, and we'll continue to work towards that. And we want to continue to cooperate. We want to find the truth, and we will continue to work towards that effort.
Well, from your lips, I hope that you're successful. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.